views and opinions of this show is not necessarily the views and opinions of the National Hockey League, its affiliates, or sponsors. A Shot from the Point contains dark humor and foul language and is intended for mature audiences only. To summarize the previous, this isn't your grandma's radio show, and I'm not Foster Hewitt.
You're listening to the most badass hockey podcast in all of known land. This is A Shot from the Point.
Coming at you on demand from the heart of Europe. This is the most badass hockey podcast in all the known land. This is A Shot from the Point, the hockey weekly news show. Yes, we cover all the happenings in all over the hockey world, specializing in the NHL. And we're going to do it again this week. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for a few. I think we're up to, 7 more subscribers. And with me, the guy who started the subscriber, explosion. Guy who broke through the Canadian mindset. With me is the great, funny man, comedian, Jersey Jake Link. How are you, buddy? How you doing today?
Doing good. I'm sore today.
What happened?
I played hockey for my first time in like a little over 9 months.
Were you in net?
And yeah, I was in net. And I even with the pads on, and I got tons and tons of bruises all over my body. And I'm still sore. There's a big bruise on like my arm, and if anything, like if I touch it, it hurts. But you know,
Getting old, that's what it is.
No, it's maybe.
I think that is so good. You're 27?
28.
28. That's when I first started noticing I was just a little slower than I was 18.
Oh, I've never been quick.
Well, it's a perfect position for you over there in net.
So yeah, I'm a good skater, but just not quick. But you know,
Were you playing?
Well,
You're playing forward. You're in net.
no, I'm in net.
Oh, you're in net. So what are you worried about skating for? Goalies.
Oh, you gotta be a good skater to play goalie. They're some of the best skaters.
Yeah, that's what they say. I keep hearing that. But they never skate. They always stay in one spot.
That's what you think. That's a true forward talking, which never suited up and gotten between the pipes.
A true left wing. That's true.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I actually did play goal once. I played street hockey goal once with the old Milek pads. Remember them?
I had a pair of them.
Oh, they're wonderful pads. And some guy told me I'd be good, but I have a problem. I hit lefty like in baseball, but I throw righty. So in goal, it's kind of like I'm all screwed up. It's okay because I'm a lefty forward as well, but I do everything else right-handed, and it just moving the puck is.
Well, that's something you and I are very similar with the cross dominance.
Yeah, you know what it is. I wasn't going to call it cross dominance because
it's I'm predominantly righty, but I throw lefty, so I have the stick on my left hand, and I have to have the glove on my right hand. So, but you know what? That actually creates for a roller hockey goalie, I'm actually a very, very good puck controller.
Really?
And I had like 12 assists one season.
Are you kidding?
Yeah. It was like an assist almost every single game. Because a lot of these leagues they don't have offsides or icing, so I could just get that puck down there and just get it to the forward and get it on his stick.
Sure, you just fire it around the board.
Yeah. And not a lot of goalies. I've had other goalies come up to me and ask how I could do that, because there's been times I've hit from like my top of the crease. Mm-hmm. Like where I could still get the puck into the other net airborne with a goalie stick and a glove on.
So you're saying it's an advantage for puck handling, not a disadvantage.
For me, yeah, definitely. I don't know. I don't know. I haven't really spoken to anyone who has that advantage.
You were the only person I know. My brother does something weird. He kicks with his left and does everything righty, but I write with my right hand, and I hit lefty. But when I was pitching in baseball, I threw righty. So that makes me a lefty forward. It's the bizarre. It's hard to explain.
My cousin's the same way too. He bats righty but throws lefty. I think he writes lefty.
That's bizarre. I don't do it. I can't imagine doing anything lefty besides hitting or playing hockey. But hey, enough about us. I just want to go over a few things with the show that we're doing. I am absolutely sick and tired of trying to get these videos to sync with us on YouTube because it's either YouTube's encoding issues for long videos. I mean, our show's about an hour and a half, or it's something to the effect of I don't know what the fuck I'm doing, which is entirely possible. So what we're going to do is we have any video that makes anything interesting that happens. We're going to put the link directly below in YouTube, and we're going to call it link 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, whatever. If you can't figure that out. If it's so fucking important for you to hear it, the best thing to do would be to,
Google it after the show.
Yeah, Google it. But you can pause the show and look at it if it's all that bad. But I'll mention link 1, check this link, and what have you. That's the new system because I'm not bothering until either the technology improves or YouTube gets their act together or I actually figure out what I'm doing. Long-term videos don't do too well, even if the highest encoding level. I don't know. Look, I didn't go to school for this shit. What do you want from me? Anything else? You want to get right into the news?
Yeah, let's get into it.
Yow! Everybody, it's NHL news time. I want to start off with, but I don't want to beat to death. There has been, as you know, I'm a bit of a men's rights crusader. And I do believe that there is a bit of an attack on contact sports, not just NHL hockey. One of the headlines that crossed my computer this week was the fact that, how do you say this guy's, I have the wrong article up here. Good start, huh? Beautiful. Oh, God. All right, who's the guy that got his ass knocked out?
I saw that video. Oh shit! What was his name?
That
was a crazy. You see that fight?
Yes, it's McLaren Duransky.
Yeah.
All right, and Duransky had no business in this fight, but that's not really the point.
Welcome to the NHL, kid.
Yeah, hey, look, standing up to McLaren, you get a lot of points in my books. But the thing that got me is one of the headlines I took over. It said hockey player actually gets knocked out in NHL fight. This happens at least, I'd say, once or twice a year, right? Would you say that?
Yeah, a few times. Like the Devils fight last year. I think there was a few guys being taken off the ice.
Yeah. I mean, but a cold knockout, it happens. It usually happens during fighting.
It's why you fight.
Yeah, to knock the guy out. Of course, the article was of the vein of this is extremely rare, which sort of is, happens once or twice a year, and that hockey's too violent, yada, yada, yada.
You want to know something? The guy that got knocked out, his nickname's Dizzy. I just went to the story. It's call me Dizzy Derzinski. That's the first line of the story.
Oh, you're making fun of somebody who has a concussion. What's the matter with you?
Good, get Batman on the show. And,
yeah.
Shanahan's gonna ban me for 3 shows.
You get the big. You ever watch those videos? The big NHL logo comes. Hi, I'm Brendan Shanahan of the National Hockey League. I used to be a raging maniac for the New Jersey Devils, and one time climbed in the stands and went after a fan. Now I'm passing judgment on people that do bad things in hockey games. Not to mention the fact I was a pretty vicious fighter myself. Not a hypocrite though.
I mean, maybe he learned from those ways of old.
Yeah,
I don't know.
It takes one to know one. He wasn't a dirty hockey player by any means.
Do you think he watches his old videos and go, I'd give myself 6 games for that. I'd give myself 4 games for that.
Well, he wasn't a dirty player, but he wasn't.
Yeah.
Shanahan had no pussy in him. None. 0. Zip.
Mm-hmm.
Getting back to this knockout, well, it seemed to me there's just a complete media overreaction. The fact that this guy got knocked out. We do have fighting in hockey. This, of course, brings up the fighting debate, whether it belongs in hockey or doesn't. That's probably going to go on forever. But I do feel that this is the end of. I'd say 5 years. There's no more fighting in hockey, and I wouldn't throw hits on, or at least softening to the game where you can't hit a guy except shoulder to shoulder, or no open ice hitting. I think we're getting this because there's such a massive overreaction. And I'm going to prove this to you in the coming weeks because I'm starting to see this with different, and I'm pretty sure these guys talk to each other, these hockey writers. They're starting to they use the word staged fight. In a lot of these articles, you'll see the word staged fight. In other words, almost like, it sounds like it's a wrestling event, like it's staged. In other words, the puck drops, two guys have a fight, and it's staged because if they were really angry at each other, I guess they would have fought before the whistle. But as most of these idiots don't know, you get chucked out of the game, if I'm not mistaken. It's a game misconduct if you fight before the pucks drop. Is that correct, Mr. Jake?
I think it is. Is it?
Yes, that's why they wait for the puck to drop. It's not staged in the sense. They're waiting to probably to limit the penalty, or a limited amount of penalty time. So this is something to look out for. I don't want to beat this to death, but this is something to look out. You're going to start using the words, there is no room for staged fighting. And what they're going to do is call every single fight staged. So, and to further the effort to, soften our sports, to soften our men, to so on and so forth, whatever.
I'm telling you, it's going to happen. The NHL is going to be 4-on-4. Ugh. There's going to be no fighting. Icing is there's going to come a point where icing is going to become too risque, and they're just going to have to as soon as the puck crosses the line, like in the Olympics, they're gonna just touch it up, and then no touch ups. It's just going to be icing, and it's going to happen. It's going to happen. I never understood that, like all these people that are outraged on everything, and something must be done. Yeah. I've never met anybody who was like that. I've never met anyone who felt so strongly about hockey fights. I know people that could take them or leave them, but I've never met anyone who's like dead set on fighting and all this stuff.
I'll tell you why. Because you don't know anybody that is trying to achieve power in our society. These are things like hockey fighting, like the benefits in the NFL. These are the things that are people that are trying to gain either politically, have some kind of show. They want power. They don't care about hockey one way or another. This is what do they say? A means to an end. And go ahead, Jake.
It's funny. You talk about people not really caring about hockey. I was talking to a guy I work with about the shot to Stahl's face. And he was like, that's horrible. That should be taken out of the game. He used the puck as a weapon. I was like, what are you talking about? I showed him the shot. And he goes, I thought the puck's not supposed to leave the ice. I'm like, what are you talking about? I go, yeah, the puck's supposed to stay on the ice. I go, if the puck was supposed to stay on the ice, I'd be in the NHL right now as a goaltender, just laying in front of the crease. You just, like, I couldn't believe he said that.
I guess because he's learned a lot about hockey down the shore on air hockey. I mean, that's all you All right.
The puck even gets up in bubble hockey. Come on now.
Yeah, I know. Well, they have to stop the game and do another face-off because somebody broke the rules.
I was just in shock because I've never heard of. I'm like, maybe in gym class, the puck's not, because I used to always get in trouble for that. Just, you're not allowed to have the puck come up. Not allowed to have the puck come up.
Yeah, like a gym class, exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a little different situation here. You're not playing professional hockey. I sort of get that. No one needs to be getting hurt in those situations. Limiting injuries in gym class is probably you're not there to play hockey. You're there to learn, which is subjective if you go to an American public school. But we won't get into that. I mean, that's limited. But in the NHL, look, it's like this. Those people that you don't know are trying to achieve political power. They're trying to connect with the something must be done crowd. The something must be done crowd empowers them for votes and takes our liberties, like hockey, away from us. That's why. And they do it in the name of what's best for you. You can pretty much look at any political issue today, whether it be hockey or otherwise, and this is what empowers people. We do. We give them the right to take our games away. We give them the right to take certain objects that are being debated in the media today. We give it to them because we want to believe that we can live in a world without risk, without incident. And that's really where we're going to leave it. And, going into that, right after the fighting debate or the staged fighting debate, you're going to start hearing that word on ESPN very, very often. Just
when they talk about hockey.
Yes, the word stage fighting. I've never heard that before, and I heard it all week on 3 different articles. Stage fighting is the key. That would be the first, and then hitting's next, and so on and so forth. And all you UFC junkies, you're next. Believe me. Then maybe I don't know what they're gonna do with boxing, but UFC's it after this. NHL.
When you said stage fighting, I'm just picturing like wrestling, like somebody's gonna throw a chair into the ice.
I think that's the idea. The idea is to give you a vision of wrestling. Stage fighting. It's either fake, or it means that it's not real, or it's somehow staged to the league. It almost adds an element of conspiracy. It's one of these things where you don't give it the proper name, and it sounds like it's a stage fight. That sounds awful. That sounds like somebody fixed the game.
I picture like how the managers on the side of the ring always get the referees distracted while they're in the ring doing something. I just want to see Pete DeBoer starting to distract the ref. And see somebody give a stone cold stunner or something. Or
they have chicks in the crowd, like we're behind the coach and they were like wiggling their ass, and the player skates by that has the puck, and he loses sight of the and the other guy comes over and cross checks him, and they run.
Or a big game. What's this? Wayne Gretzky is back.
And he has spikes on his shoulder pad. This Mark Stahl was recently hit with a puck in the Rangers 4-2 win over the Flyers earlier in the week. Really ugly shot. Stahl chooses not to wear a visor, as I would not choose to wear a visor if I was in the NHL. I don't know. I had to wear a cage. It's a nightmare. And one of those things, what happens when you don't wear a visor, stuff like this can happen. And even if you do wear a visor and you get hit hard enough with a puck, it might not matter anyway. Stahl doesn't wear. He got hit with a slap shot, went down. He was writhing in pain. It was a really ugly incident. But this also brings in the debate: should we require players to wear visors? Now, there's a problem with that. There is currently a penalty for fighting with a visor. So if everybody's made to wear a visor, which is really unnecessary, it is a personal choice. What do you do about that particular 2-minute minor or fight? It creates a complete problem if you start to force these players to wear visors, sort of like they and I think Barry Melrose has suggested they're going to grandfather it in, and we'll be talking about guys that don't wear visors, sort of like we talked about Craig McTavish towards the end of his career, that he was the last guy not to wear a helmet. So what do they do? That's all well and good if they grandfather them in, but what do we do about the fighting minor, which is going to create a big problem?
Well, just like the last story, they're phasing it out.
They're phasing it out. It's not even coming from the NHL. Gary Bettman's been defending it, to be honest with you. It's the media types. They're the soccer moms. The good know what's good for you.
Here's the thing. How long have we been playing hockey and visors have been in the game? Probably since probably like the late 80s, early 90s?
I'd say late 70s. I think late 70s.
The visor.
The clear glass visor.
Well, and how many times has this happened?
I can't remember. To the eye? Especially when the guy was on his feet. I can't remember. I saw it happen in an inline hockey game. But I never, and it was a deflection, come to think of it. I've never seen a guy on his feet get hit with a slap shot.
That's what I'm saying. It's such a rare occurrence, and it just seems like every single rare occurrence now of something bad happening, there's just a public outcry.
It's not a public outcry. I really believe that. It's these guys that make things like stage fighting. They make up a new word. And that creates, they're trying to generate public outcry. And here's another problem. And I mentioned this last year in my show. I referred to hockey as, and in the first show this year with Jersey Jason Lech. Hockey's like an indie rock band. And it's only cool until, your douchebag next door neighbor who listens to, Justin Bieber gets a hold of it. Then it kind of sucks. And I think one of the problems that we're also having, I think hockey's getting a little popular. And that might be the biggest problem.
Yeah, they're talking about it a lot more on the radio.
Talking a bit more on the radio, there
Yeah.
is this. The NHL is all over YouTube because they allow people to do what we're doing now and not give them a hard time about video clips, which is great. It's got a very good the NBC package deal on NBC Sports is a great. They've done the best job, much better job than Fox and ESPN did. Honestly, it would be a perfect world if it maintained enough popularity to support 20 teams, mostly in the North, and keep these people out of it. Because the problem is we're bringing new people in our game that don't understand the history of the game, don't understand fighting and what the ups and the downs of it, or where its history, and they don't understand that it's not an American game; it's a Canadian game, and it's not for us to decide. In my opinion, unfortunately. The NHL is run in New York. That brings me to my next article. A majority of Canadians want fighting ban in hockey. This I cannot believe. The article was written by a Roy McGregor from the Globe and Mail. Never heard of that. Here we go. It's just plain thuggery. It's also a farce. Here it is. A stage fight is a cartoon of the professional hockey. Okay, Jake. This is a stage fight opposed to, this is the new word. This is the new word they're going to use, the stage fight. At least it's the first time I'm hearing it. This guy's a lawyer. How many lawyers do you know personally and hang out with?
None.
Bingo. Now you know what kind of people want it. People that want power.
Yeah. Or I just hang out with scumbags.
Yes.
That could be it too.
Could be.
Look, a lot of people at low education.
I hang out at bars and dog tracks.
Yeah. There's not a lot of lawyers there.
Yeah, they own the joint.
I mean, the closest person I know that's a professional is my sister-in-law, who's going for her doctorate. So
good luck to her. This was a classically staged fight, but all the guaranteed moment the two coaches filled out their lineups and threw out players who should count themselves as fortunate to see a few minutes of ice time on the fourth line. Well, it's only 29 seconds. What was the fourth line doing out there? It's funny. There was a fight, but no punishment for stopping the game so abruptly, unnecessarily. Both players were given majors. Let's not call them penalties and sent off. Durinsky was helped off the ice once he regained consciousness. The teams then resumed play as 5 skaters aside. You mean to tell me, this is Canadian Magazine, that this incident that I just read is a new scenario in Canada? Jesus.
I don't understand this. Like, it seems like it was like this is the guy's first time tuning into a game.
3/4 of Canadians, 78%, and the dynamical number of fans want to see fights banned at junior hockey.
Okay, maybe junior hockey.
Well, that's, you're going to cut down a lot of your goons there because that's where a lot of them come from. I got to be honest with you. This is where I might pussy out. I got problems with kids beating each other like that. I don't know if I like that.
Pee-wee hockey. There needs more fighting in pee-wee hockey.
I got to look for the juniors. I mean, let's face it, Canadian juniors is pros anyway. Two-thirds of Canadians, as well as the general public, believe fighting should also be banned at the professional level. 2/3. I believe that's true. Only 60% of the country's favors allowing fights at junior level. Now I know that. 16%? I mean, I could almost swallow it. How did this go from like 70-30 to now 78% against? Oh, come on. Hold on, Jake. Let me read this again so I'm not insane. 95% of fans believe that skating is an essential component of the game. Skating, you heard me. And 93% believe shooting is important. And a minuscule, say 7%, are the ability to engage on ice. Fights is important. Okay, if 95% of fans think skating is an essential component to hockey, 5%.
The 5% are all street hockey players.
Yes.
You know what? This guy sounds like he's doing the Chewbacca defense from South Park.
I don't know what I'm reading here.
He just seems like he's just mumbling gibberish. And
Canada, I want somebody to write me. I want the Canadian people that listen to the show to send me either a text or an email or a tweet or something to see, do you believe this BS? Majority of Canadians want fighting banned in hockey. I'm not talking juniors either. I'm talking NHL. The junior thing I get. I don't want to see my kid get killed either.
We need it in Pee-wees. There needs to be more fighting in Pee-wees.
It's moving on. All right.
I hope I don't get emails saying, "Why would you say that?" I'm just messing around.
If you do get emails to say that, oh God.
Public outrage from a soccer mom.
Yeah.
My kid is bullied every day.
You know what I would say to them? Honestly? Are you married? And she said yes. How does he do it? Were you fun at one time, and then all of a sudden one day this happened to you? You turned into a grandmother? I mean, you must be horrible in bed. You must have never gotten your husband a beer. You must run around town telling everybody what to do. Everybody knows your opinion on absolutely fucking everything. You're always commenting on how other people are raising their kids. What kind of person are you? ESPN Stephen A. Smith believes 3 ties make the Blackhawks NHL record inferior to the Miami Heat streak.
Stephen A. Smith's a douche.
I gotta be honest with you, and this will be on link 1. He doesn't believe they're ties. And honestly, it was a misspeak, or he misspoke. Yeah, you can tell I'm a broadcaster. He misspoke. What he meant was, and he's probably thinking of the way the IHL used to do it. It used to be you got a shootout loss, not an OT loss. So he was saying that I guess he was saying that they had 3 ties. He misspoke. And some leagues and some time. Let's see what the article says. Let's see. Basketball, enthusiasm, blah, 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 blah. And that's one more. It's damn stupid, insulting professional pride, which they flaunt as ignorance. No, that's not what I wanted. You know what? This story is not that interesting. If you're really interested in what he fucking said, go check it out. I think it makes nothing over.
He's on ESPN. ESPN could care less about hockey. Yeah. Stephen A. Smith he just rambles on. He's kind of he sometimes it doesn't even sound like he knows what he's talking about. He's sometimes on the radio, on ESPN radio. If you turn it on, like, you just want to turn it off. He's just mindless ramblings, and he swears he knows everybody. There's a guy, he's Jay Farrow. He does a really good impression of him on Saturday Night Live.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't get to watch stateside TV these days. I don't know. I didn't find what he said. The guy doesn't like hockey. What?
No. Well.
Crosby and Stamkos rowing everybody, even each other. They're rowing each other. Out of Pittsburgh, Steven Stamkos smiled sheepishly and blush most apparent. The affable Tampa Bay Lightning star was seemingly embarrassed when he would been asked to weigh in against that of Pittsburgh Penguins star Sidney Crosby. To be compared in the same sentence to him is pretty special to me. The Tampa Bay Lightning sniper said, I think I still have a long way to go and a lot of things to work on before you get mentioned like a guy like that. Well, I got news for you, Mr. Stamkos. It took Sidney Crosby a long time to become Sidney Crosby. The only difference between him and you is you didn't have the entire league shining a spotlight on you and holding a halo above your head wherever you walked. So
because he plays in Tampa.
Yeah, that's part of it. That's a pretty high draft pick, but I mean, nobody has the ray of sunshine shooting out their ass like Sidney Crosby does.
Yeah.
When it comes to the National Hockey League season, there aren't any more players worth mentioning. Crosby now 35 points at the time this article was written. Leads into Monday in a head-to-head matchup. Stamkos has scored 32 points. Let's just break this down. Stamkos and Crosby are battling. Stamkos is finally becoming the player that we all hoped he was. He definitely has, I think, the most wicked slap shot in the NHL today. And I think, and Crosby seems to have his act together. He's not the dirty player he was last year or the year before. Well, the year before he's hurt. He wasn't really dirty. He's just going, and something Don Cherry pointed out that he had something like a few years ago back, he had over 100 penalty minutes. A guy like him shouldn't have 100 penalty minutes. There's no reason for him to be in the box, first of all. Second of all, him trying to be a tough guy. He's decided not to be a tough guy. He's concentrating on what he's really there for, doing with the guys like Gretzky do, doing with guys like Brett Hull do. And he is definitely the most dangerous player in the league. And the only thing I'd say about Steven Stamkos, he's now a legit star instead of a potential star with this season that's gone by. And where does that leave Ovi? I think if Ovi does not turn it around, I think
fading star.
Yeah, he's a fading star, and I think it's
Yep.
really sad because there's very few players I like to watch more than Alexander Ovechkin. Don't know.
I like when he works hard and when he's like actually cares. He's dangerous, Ovi.
I'll say this: when he first came in the league, I'm talking talent. I'm not talking about like he's better than Gretzky or Lemieux or anything. I've never seen anybody better. I think he's the most talented man. Talent does not always equal.
No, he has no work ethic. Crosby has tons of work ethic.
Yeah, I think that's it.
Yeah.
Crosby's a real pro, and I think things came naturally for so long for Alex because he's so gifted, and at a point in his career that he doesn't really know what to do because now it's hard. It got hard. People figured him out. He got hard. He's basically been doing the same thing so long, and they figured out a way to deal with him, and he's not working. And you will fade, and you will be forgotten in your best years. You're 28, 29 years old, and that's too bad. So
it's a
really
big contract.
Yeah.
I can assure you that when he only has 2 years, 3 years left, that he will be traded.
Yeah. I think it. Do you believe that Dave called this early in the season?
No, well, he's dead on Dave.
Yeah.
I
told him he was a kook. I told him he was a kook calling this, but it looks like dead on Dave was right once again.
That's right. Well, hey, you're gonna have to call me dead on Jake soon. If the Canadians make it and with Vanek.
No, that's true. And we're not even pros.
No.
Right here. You go watch ESPN, watch Barry Melrose drool over some fucking player like he did for Lindros for 20 years, and tell you nothing. You come to my show, you'll actually learn something, and I cannot wait till we do our picks. All four of us actually get to do our picks together. That's going to be badass, this play.
Oh, nice.
Cam Ward out to 2 months for the MCL sprain. Are the Hurricanes done?
I hope so. We're playing them tonight. We need all the points we could get.
Boy, Small Brothers have not really been able to pick up the starting to employed Carolina Hurricanes. Looked sort of dangerous in the beginning of the season. Have not been making much noise. Don't see much of a future for yeah, they're done. Fuck it. Next story. Kovalov done with Panthers. Future to be determined. Did you get this story, Jake?
Alexei Kovalov?
Alexei Kovalov signed a tryout. He did a tryout with Florida, signed with them, scored a few goals in the first game in January, if I remember correct, and they've already let him go. And he currently has no team. Alexei Kovalov is a very personal player to me because he was one of my favorite players when I was a teenager, and he's
old is he?
Active player. I'm sorry, go ahead.
How old is he? 40? Holy shit. Damn.
He is the last active player that played in the 1994 Rangers Stanley Cup team. So I feel bad. Normally I wouldn't even report a story for like this, but I love Kovalov. He never quite grew into the player, the ultra superstar, the record setter that he may have had the talent to do, but he always has and he has a good year in Pittsburgh.
He was the role player of role players. Best way to describe him.
He would explode. I remember early in his 1992 season, he would explode in ways that I'd never really seen. The way Ovi does, actually. At the time, I'd never seen anything like it before. And he just was never able to put it together. He got it together. They put him on center. A lot of people don't remember this. They put him at center during the 94. And they moved him right back. He was an off wing, which I'm not a big believer in bringing an off wing. And they moved him right back to wing, and then they traded him with Sergei Zubov, one of the worst trades in Ranger history, sending Sergei Zubov to Pittsburgh, which I'll never understand, breaking up the Leach-Zubov power play. And history was done. So he went on and had a very strong career. Definitely, probably not Hall of Fame.
Looking at his numbers, he had a phenomenal year in
did he ever
for Pittsburgh in 2000, 2001.
Did he score 50 goals?
He had 44 goals, 51 assists.
It's excellent. Yeah, today's game. When I was a kid, you were just an all-star with 40 or 44 goals. I guess now.
Yeah, that's all that.
60. 40's the 60.
Yeah. There's a lot of great talent out. You know what? I was actually thinking about this the other day. You realize in our lifetime, we have seen the best players to ever play the game when Gretzky.
Yes.
And we've actually seen two of the best goaltenders to ever play the game with
sure.
Marty and Wah.
Sure, absolutely.
You know, like we can't say that about baseball. I mean, maybe Barry Bonds, but that's a whole different topic.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
you know, it's amazing. Like
Griffey.
Griffey, yeah.
Griffey.
Well, yeah, he had some injuries.
Yeah, Griffey, Jordan, and I know you don't like soccer, but I think Lionel Messi over here plays for Barcelona, might be one of those guys too. I really think at least the skill level of the league has never been better than right now, but you don't have the amount of superstars that you had when we were kids. But it's a different game when we were kids, dramatically different game. Gretzky himself said he could never score. He'd have trouble scoring 100 points, much less 2 in today's game. The defensemen are just too good. So it was a special time to be around, and then it kind of got dead after your team won in '95, and then I'd say...
blame it on us.
Yeah. But after... when I took the red line out, I think it really improved the game, but, you know, there's also debates about that.
Yeah.
Because the injuries started getting weird after that. And I don't know if that's because of the overreaction that we were talking about before, or does that have to do with actual... Maybe the game is too fast without the red line.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, maybe that's the problem. You know, that's the major difference. Now we're starting to weirder injuries. But you know what? I remember guys getting hurt when I was a kid too. I think it was Mike Liu got his throat cut in the Washington Capitals game in the '80s. If I'm wrong about that, send me the thing. I know I saw a goalie get his throat cut.
Yeah, that was the guy in Buffalo.
Was it Buffalo? I thought was it Buffalo?
It was Buffalo against the Islanders.
Yeah, it was like it's 87, 88, something like that, right?
Yeah. It was a vicious skate to the throat.
I'll put that link up. That'll be. Did I already do link number 1? I knew I was going to have a problem with this.
You did link 1,
All right,
yeah.
This is link number 2. Yeah, ESPN's reporting that in the rumor mill section that Iginla might be on its way to Detroit. I really don't have much of a problem with this because I just hate seeing one of the great players of the 2000s, in my opinion, maybe the best player of that decade, kind of just waste away in Calgary. I like to a big team. A lot of guys go to Detroit, Hull, Shanahan, to kind of put their stamp.
Falski.
Yeah, Dominic went over there for one. Hasek. A lot of guys went over there to go on and win Stanley Cups, and I hope Iginla came at a time before the Ovechkin and Crosby years. And he was really one of the most dangerous players. It was just the location he played.
Yeah, he didn't get the press that he should have, but he's a dangerous player.
And maybe one of the toughest, at least in my lifetime. And I know Gordie Howe used to fight a lot. I can't speak for the 50s and 60s, but he is probably the biggest star that can fight on an extremely high level. This guy can take on goons, and he's not that big. I don't think he's tall.
He's let's bring race into this. He's definitely the best black hockey player to ever. In the NHL.
He's definitely the best black hockey player. And he can whip your ass. He can whip your ass around the room. Just go check out. He barely ever loses a fight, and he fights as much. He's fought twice this year, I think. So, I mean, I've never seen a star, at least in the modern era, throw down like this guy does, and he beats people's up, and he makes them wish they didn't fight him. Love Jerome Iginla. I mean, would you like him on your team?
Oh, yeah. Take him in a second.
Actually, probably be a good fit.
Yeah, you're...
That'd be a real good fit. You get a power forward in there. Place.
Oh, yeah.
Because you guys are desperately missing...
We're missing something.
You're missing Parise. You're missing...
Oh, yeah. That's one.
This would be a nice fit over New Jersey. Oh, I hope that doesn't happen.
All right, get on the phone, Lou.
Yeah. This is actually a little more exciting. We talk about a lot of stuff on hockey, on the shot from the point. We got some sad news in hockey. Most of the time, we like to joke around about what goes on in hockey. This is one of those things we can't joke around about. Hockey player paralyzed after a massive hit. Opponent could face criminal charges. Hockey player from the Swiss National Liga, they say over here in Germany. Because, I don't know. Did you know the Swiss speak German, Jake?
No, I didn't.
Oh, well, they do.
I know nothing. I am the most ignorant American you'll ever meet. I am exactly why Europe hates America. I am fat, uneducated, don't speak the language right. I am everything that that the rest of the world hates about us.
If you wanted to just learn something in German right now, what would it be?
The only thing I know in German is how to say my car, and that's Volkswagen.
Actually, you didn't say it. It's Volkswagen. Volks, because the V is a makes an F sound.
See, it doesn't even make sense.
Mein Deutsch ist nicht so gut. Ich lerne von meinen Freunden. So, ein Pilz bitte.
Du hast mich. That's all. Rammstein.
Do you know what that song means, though?
Do you hate me?
Yes and no. It's got a dual meaning. Du hast, you have. Du hast, you hate. The song's about divorce if you listen closely. So it has a double meaning. You have or you hate me. Get it?
So how often were you playing that song?
Well, it's du hast mich zu fragen und nicht gesagt. You hate me to say that I won't obey. It's I get what you're getting at. Yeah. Well, I should have listened to Till.
My buddy, one of my friends, is a really, really good joke. It's about Germany. He goes, "Yeah, I was raping this girl, and I got off on a technicality because I didn't know German because the girls kept on screaming 9, 9, 9." I said there's more like 3.5 inches, but you gotta love the metric system.
Is that? Have you ever told that one on stage?
No, one of my friends does, and he tells it better. I won't give him credit for it.
Fuck him. Let's get the happier news. Hockey player paralyzed after mass. Now could face criminal charges. Hockey player from the Swiss National League B. The National League second tier was injured severely Thursday night after being checked. He's being reported to be paralyzed. Now, criminal charges could be brought against the player on the illegal move. Saw the video. You can check link 3. It is ugly. 2 guys going in the corner for a puck, and it's really not even much of a bump, but it's one of those, you're in that in-between area where you're between the boards, and his neck goes in the wall. I'm only assuming that his neck was broken. This is about as tragic as it gets. We talk about softening the game, and we talk about how, they're kind of feminizing sports in general. I'm not talking about this shit. I'm talking, this is criminal, what happened here. And this is disgusting and doesn't have any place in sports. Hey, look, I'm all for a tough guy culture. I'm all for, but you know what? There's got to be, with a tough guy culture comes a code. That's why there's a code in hockey fighting. There's a code and there's respect for players, and they don't have it here. And it's really disgusting. And somebody's life has been changed. He's not the first hockey player that'll be paralyzed. He will not be the last. But it's a little easier to swallow when it's not something so tragic where an unnecessary contact when these guys are racing for the puck. And I would let me get a little Don Cherry on everybody. Hey, man, kids, you can't, especially guys that are like 13, 14, when you're just starting to become man, you're on the ice. You can't take this shit back. You unless you're some kind of sociopath, you will feel this the rest of your life if you do this to somebody. So, you know what? Link 3, check it out. It's ugly, and that is link 3, right? I really got to pay attention to this shit, huh?
The link 3.
Link 3. Please check out the video and think about that, guys.
It's sad.
Brett Cook's lifetime ban for punching NHL. Excuse me. Wow. No, not NHL. This is in the UQTR. It's Junior Hockey League. Brett Cook decided to punch a linesman, and seemingly for no reason. The guy was trying to get him in the box. This will be link 4. It's unbelievable, and I'd like to see. I would like to see this. If anybody would punch a ref in the NHL, I really wonder if a lifetime ban would take place. But mostly because the NHLPA. They can throw somebody out of juniors for life because, well,
there's no union.
There's no union.
Yeah.
But, the NHL might want to think long and hard, or the NHLPA might want to think something like this would ever happen. It did happen in the 30s, if I'm not mistaken, with Maurice Richard. We're creating the Richard rights. I think it was the 40s. Boy, the Canadian guys are going to be pissed at me.
Well, back then there was really no, it wasn't like how it is now.
He only got suspended for the playoffs. They had riots in Montreal. But that's no good. And you know what? You give if you don't ban these guys, you give these soccer moms the ammunition they need to say that hockey's just a circus.
Mm-hmm.
And hockey's not a circus. Great game. So bye, Brett Cook. I hope your career sucks. Sucks. And let me tell you something else. And I'm one of the few. I'm a big mouth, and I talk tough hockey. I'm going to say this right now. I think the NHL referees are the best referees in all sports. And I tell you something. After being over here in the crooked FIFA world and watching what these guys do and wondering if the game's even on the up and up, our guys are the best. They go up there. They try to make – hey, look, they're going to blowing calls up. But I love our referees, and I wouldn't want to see any of our referees.
They are the best. They are the best. The NFL, they're not that good. I mean, they're compared to –
Oh, they're part-time. They're terrible. Hawks lose! Hawks lose!
Woo!
Hawks lose!
Take that, Dave.
Take Dave! Were you laughing as hard as I was?
I was. It was kind of like counting down to like New Year's. I just kept on going back into like NHL games that I was seeing where they're at.
Not only did they get blown out.
Oh,
I'm sorry. Not only did they lose.
They got blown out, and they got blown out by a team that they pretty much stuck it to last in the beginning of the week.
Dominated. Mm-hmm. And but here's the upside, Dave. Here's what I'm going to say. And you're a hockey expert, Jake. I think this is the best thing to happen to them and for their future. And here's why. Because now they don't have to defend this stupid, meaningless streak and then concentrate on what they need to be doing and making the playoffs. I'm sure it was in the back of the mind. There's nothing to protect anymore. Just playing good hockey, thinking about staying healthy, thinking about playing smart, thinking about getting those playoffs, because this would be nothing but a waste of a season if they couldn't.
Wouldn't it be hilarious if they just went on a streak going the other way?
Yeah, they win one game because they literally won half the season. Now they lose 24.
As hot as they were, they get that cold.
Oh, God.
That would be freaky.
I don't see that. I think this team has been underachieving since they won the Stanley Cup. I think they're a very, very good hockey team, and I think it's the best thing.
Yeah, they're stacked. I mean, besides like their goalies. By the way, Dave had me dying last week that he didn't know that Emery was black.
because he watches on pixels on it.
He had me dying last week.
Ray Emery looks like those old NBA Jam videos.
He does.
Damn. It was really serious. You know what happened? And let's have a look. There's some planned shtick on this show, if you haven't noticed. It does happen. We're pretty much honest all the time, but Dave told me that offline. And he goes, hey, do you believe this? Ray Emery's black. And he said it like a normal conversation. He didn't bring it in. And
when did they start letting them play?
I said, that's really funny. You should say it in the show. He's like, no, but it's true. I didn't know. I'm like, you got to be fucking shitting me. He's kind of light skinned. Yeah.
He's probably a mix.
Yeah, I think. I don't know.
Uh-huh. Show him Kevin Weeks, he'll blow his mind. Mm-hmm. You just think there's a mask floating around.
That was BS when he said Grant Fuhrer. He didn't know Grant Fuhrer was black.
Honestly, Grant Fuhrer is like that light-skinned.
Yeah, but I think he had regular normal TV when he saw Grant Fuhrer, so he knew. We're gonna wrap up the news. NHL PA okays with realignment plan. I'm not okay with it, of course.
Neither am I, but what are you going to do?
Yeah, what are you going to do? It's not the worst system in the world, but I mean, I don't know. It's the here's why I don't like it. It's where it's going. I don't mind there being like two divisions in each conference, because having like 4 divisions is just stupid as it is. I'd like it to go back to the old way, to the Adams and the Patricks division, but that's not going to happen. So, and just the fact that nobody really looks at when you look at NHL stats or where your team is, you look where the playoff standings are. You don't even look at your mic. Headphones are fucking falling off, and I don't know why. I feel like somebody just came behind me and pulled my headphones. Amazing. I don't know where that came. It just slipped off my fucking head. All right. I don't like it. When most people look up playoffs, and they look up where their team stands in the playoffs. And who made. So what's the point of having the stupid divisions? Okay, that's fine. The first problem I see is the 16-14 split. There'll be 16 teams in the Eastern Conference, 14 in the West. Make it a little harder to make in the West. That will lead way to, well, we need 2 more teams, so we need 32 teams. So, and I do not want more expansion, especially in a league that can't support plus teams, especially in a league when really only the original 6 teams are the ones that actually make money, like Leafs, Rangers, Forbes magazine. I wish I had the Forbes magazine, but I think it was the Leafs, Rangers, Canadians. I can't even think of the other two. I think maybe Boston. The other teams make money. They probably make money for the rest of the league. So I don't really like it. So you can guarantee.
Oh, one good thing about our division is we're getting Columbus and Carolina.
Yeah. Oh, so it breaks down like the Atlantic Division will be Carolina, Columbus, New Jersey, Islanders,
Washington,
Philadelphia, Pittsburgh, Washington.
I like Washington being in it.
For travel reasons, I do like it. I'll say that. Central Division: Boston, Buffalo, Detroit, Florida, Montreal, Ottawa, Tampa Bay, and Toronto. I don't know. To me, it makes more sense for the Florida teams to be in the Atlantic Division because they got to fly all the way up to Canada. Yet we don't have to go to Canada that often now. So, and I don't like. That's essential. I just don't like. I don't like Detroit being outside of Chicago's.
No, that's
something really.
That's sad. That's just like, why would they? I mean, I'm sure it has everything to do with the time zones.
Yeah.
But isn't Detroit in the Central?
Detroit is in what's called. No, they're going to be in the Central. So this new Central Division will be Boston, Buffalo, Detroit, Florida, Montreal, Ottawa, Tampa Bay, and Toronto. Florida teams having to go up north. I don't get at all, but there shouldn't even be one Florida team, if you ask me. The Midwest Division. Chicago, Colorado, Dallas, Minnesota, Nashville, St. Louis, Winnipeg. Winnipeg loses no matter what because they're in the middle of fucking nowhere. Pacific Division: Anaheim, Calgary, Edmonton, Los Angeles, Phoenix, San Jose, and Vancouver. Boy, the worst trip is to Phoenix. That's a much better division.
Oh, it's always been a bad trip to Phoenix. Come on now.
Yeah, I know.
Unless you like playing in front of seats.
Yeah, they're having a little playoff trouble. They might be. That'll put maybe the final nail, get that team out of town. All right, that's it. That's the week in NHL. If you like it, fuck off. Yeah. Well, I guess that brings us to our band artist of the week, I suppose. I'm gonna let you give me a little background. Rapper's name, Rich Mahogany. Tune's called "It Gotta Be." I guess the mix is done by a guy named Mix. Is that right?
Yeah, this is the mix. I couldn't find the actual with his beat on it.
Yeah.
But I like this beat better than the actual. There's actual other beat. This is he's a local rapper. He's out of beautiful Keensburg, New Jersey, the Redneck Riviera.
I just like during Hurricane Sandy, all those friggin' arcade games from the early '80s just floating down the street, you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
There goes Dig Dug. That's why I used to like to go down there. They were like last place on earth that had.
Oh, you can spend $30 there with 2 people and feel like a king.
Yeah. No. It's
you know.
Okay. It's got its upsides. I've spent some time down there. It was a lot of fun.
But yeah, he's a local rapper. He's as you could say, he's more of an acquaintance of mine. We're friends through friends.
Sure.
And I talk to him sometimes. He talks to me. You know.
Your Facebook.
Yeah, we're good. We're Facebook friends.
Facebook.
Yeah, you know.
And if he can help you out, he'll help you out. Well, you know, you're a hard guy. You're a hard guy not to like, Jake.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, you're a hard guy not to like. Okay, everybody. That gets into the band of the week, and then we're going to go on the break, come back with the NHL Power Rankings, regular old chat, and then we'll wrap it up. This is Rich Mahogany. It gotta be the official Kism Mix. see you at the other side.
Yo. Hola, what up? Hey, yo, don't be mad when you go into your girlfriend's apartment and it smells of rich mahogany. Yo. Greatest to never live, I was born dead. Like an aborted fetus, head banging with his sore head. Rock like Led Zepp, Sabbath the Kiss. Hip hop in the flesh, don't be mad at the kid. Cognac in the sniff, no crack in the spliff. Zone out and chill when you're blasting the shit. Control the vibe with the flow and the rhymes. I play my part just to keep the culture alive. Whack rappers should have been aborted. No biggie, y'all ain't important. You know my C's, I'm just being me. A real MC, representative of GMD. Boom bap, cool cat, spitting rude tracks. Who's that, do that, never getting booed at. Ripping every show, hit blueberry dro. Sip penny to the roof, spinning very slow. Who's the one who spits it properly, kid? It gotta be rich mahogany. Who's the one who spits it properly, kid? It gotta be rich mahogany. Who's the one who spits it properly, kid? It gotta be rich mahogany. Who's the one who spits it properly, kid? It gotta be rich mahogany. Stealth bomber, rhymes like air strikes. Mad nice, fresher than your air nights. Go ahead and laugh, suckers, I'll make mad nuggets. I'm a bad mother, y'all just shit stains and ass nuggets. Been bugging, rugged with the lyric skill. Clearly ill to beat me, you need a miracle. Bass booming, tripped out, stage shrooming. Rap mutant, homie, I ain't human. Keith Richards, I spit that raw flow. Bust raps like broken rubbers and pornos. Really sick, guilty kids spitting filthy shit. Rhyming skills live and ill, yeah, I'm killing it. Domes blasphemous, skull bones hazardous. Worldwide, not a local rapper, kid. On the road with Tony, plus Prime Pro's my homie. No baloney, stacked cheese, provolone. Who's the one who spits it properly, kid? It gotta be rich mahogany. Who's the one who spits it properly, kid? It gotta be rich mahogany. Who's the one who spits it properly, kid? It gotta be rich mahogany. Who's the one who spits it properly, kid? It gotta be rich mahogany. Dro sparking, crack open the whole garden. Beat slapping, got the pussy on your whole farting. Like secrets way I'm dropping crack. With the ganja at weed man, holla back. Sonic boom, Molly, you pass that. Let me hit that, break the herb, get the Dutch. Let me split that, break you off, Kit Kat. Bump the track, spit raps. Hades, you could kick rocks. Bitch, get back. Ha, switch it up like a moon swing. Spontaneous, get ready for what this dude brings. Cats stay changing colors like moon rings. Watch how rich mahogany do things. Life or death, which one are you choosing? Picture me rolling like ravers that like to chew things. It's amusing, cats think they're dope, but they're all washed up like sinks and soap. Washed up. Who's the one who spits it properly, kid? It gotta be rich mahogany. Who's the one who spits it properly, kid? It gotta be rich mahogany. Who's the one who spits it properly, kid? It gotta be rich mahogany. Who's the one who spits it properly, kid? It gotta be rich mahogany.
That was Rich Mahogany. It gotta be. Thank you very much, Mr. Mahogany, for letting you play a little of your stuff in the show. Real talented rapper out of Arcadeville, New Jersey.
Arcadeville.
No, I'm kidding, guys. Well, let's talk about it. I forgot about the Artist of the Week, and I made no plans this week. And I when I got home from work, I saw what you sent me, and I'm like, oh, geez, I forgot. And then I go, what are the odds of this being good? And I'm like, I listened to it, and then right out the gate, I'm like, oh, this is perfect. So
that wouldn't put anything that's bad. And, you know what? Even if it was bad, it would be worth a goof.
Oh,
you know?
No, I can't put these guys on a goof on them. You know, especially a rapper. That's the last thing I need.
Oh yeah, you're all the way. Well, I'd have to catch the brunt of it. You know.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, that's all I need to be goofing on rappers.
All these black dudes just coming up to my house in Keensburg, in Caseby, just yo, why you gotta diss my boy?
Yeah, what's up with that?
Mm-hmm. All of a sudden, they out of nowhere they just stumble upon this podcast.
Yeah. We're big in the hip hop crowd. Big in Japan.
We talk about everybody that we're not big with. Our target non-demographics: Latinos, blacks, hip hop, soccer moms.
It's soccer moms. So we can say what we want, I suppose.
Yeah.
There's two ways to look at it.
Yeah, I guess you're right. There
Big
was one of my friends. He's a very funny comic. He's Kenny Michaels. He does a internet radio show, the Conti and Kenny Show, and he put it best. They go, "This is internet radio is the last format where we could actually just say the word cunt."
Yeah, I guess you.
without getting in trouble.
You know who says cunt a lot? The Irish. They love to say cunt.
Well, it just rolls off so wonderfully.
Yeah, I know. It just comes out. They're a cunt, right? You know. And it's just, they say cunt. Like, I say pain in the ass. You know?
She's acting like a cunt.
Yeah.
It's easier. It's less syllable. More time to drink for them.
Hey, what do you think of Stacy over there? Ah, she's a cunt, like. Oh my! I'm going to have my first cocktail since 1999. Andy is bringing me a vodka. What is this called? A Cosmopolitan. I'm going to drink during the show. I was legally intoxicated once. But yes, I have a cocktail. I don't drink. I only drink beer. So this may get bad. Here we go. I don't drink vodka. Here we go. I can handle this. It ain't bad. No, good job, Andy. Thank you very much, sweetheart. All right. We just had Rich Mahogany. Thanks again. Big shout out to him. We appreciate you helping out our show. We hope we can help you out in the future. Any more stuff, please get it to us. We'll speak. All right. Let's go to the NHL Power Rankings. No surprise, Chicago Blackhawks at the top of the heap. Let me read.
And they'll probably be there for another 3 weeks.
Yeah. But the streak is over, as we all know. Like we mentioned before, it's probably the best thing going for them.
They got the monkey off the back, you know?
Yeah, I think that's the case. Do you agree with me on that one?
Yeah, I think. I mean, it would be very unrealistic. It was beginning to look like a video game after a while, you know?
Yeah, and your bigger brother knows a code you don't.
I know a glitch.
Yeah, I know a glitch. Well, the glitch has been solved. You know, somebody blew in the cartridge and fixed it. Number 2, definitely the second best team in the league. Anaheim Mighty Ducks, maybe the biggest challenge the Blackhawks will have to face. They definitely won't see him in the first. So that could be right there. That could be your Western Conference final, right there. Jersey Jason Les calling that early, saying this team is underrated. Teemu Solani does not seem like he's finished over there. All around scary team, those Anaheim Mighty Ducks. And I have not watched a Ducks game this year, so I probably should check some out.
Yeah, they're fine. They're like you said, they're underrated. I mean, they're just doing it. And they're, Chicago, which is sometimes the best way to do it. Like with Chicago taking all the press on how wonderful they have with this unbelievable start. And you just had the Anaheim Ducks just trucking along,
It might have been a blessing in disguise for them because it keeps the media off them.
Yeah.
So, that could be that'd be a hell of a Western Conference final if this is not some kind of fluke.
That would go 7 games if that was depending on how these two teams are playing right now, that would go 7 games down to the wire.
Well, I think that's the disadvantage for the Ducks because they're not playoff tested, or this particular team. Blackhawks didn't win a cup too long ago. A core of the star part of the team is still there, so you just have to see what they do in the. You're just gonna have to see what they do when they get there. Boston Bruins quietly in number 3. They lost 2 in a row, but they bounced back for 6 straight wins. Boston, very good team, kind of flying under the radar. Not so much under the radar, but maybe not getting as much attention as past seasons, which is unusual because the Son of God plays for the Pittsburgh Penguins at number 4. They're a dangerous hockey team. Anybody meets them in the playoffs. Jake's picked number 5, Montreal Canadiens. Montreal Canadiens for the Stanley Cup, which is an unusual pick, but it's been an unusual season. They didn't make the playoffs last year, and now they are looking to actually kick some ass in the upcoming playoffs. Because we really should start talking playoffs. I mean, it's basically over. The season's basically over, and
we're halfway through it.
Montreal is definitely going to be dangerous. So that's your top 5 in NHL picks. Do you want to listen to? You want to give this a shot because we're adding into something new to Shot to the Point. I don't know, in-game talking. Do you want to listen to Claude Julien rip the Montreal Canadiens for being a bunch of diving homos? Oh, I said.
Yes.
Am I allowed to say homo nowadays?
A homo and cunt. That should be the tagline. You want to say the word cunt?
Well, the thing is, I'm like,
get a podcast.
I'm really pro-gay, and I'm like pro-gay marriage and stuff. So I mean, it's just maybe I shouldn't say that. I don't know.
Yeah, it's all right. Come on. I did Rocky Horror for 3 years, and I dressed in drag, and I'll say the word homo, faggot, cunt. It doesn't matter. Seriously, these people got to stop having a stick up their ass. You can say whatever you want. It's your damn
self. I'm being a homo?
Yeah, you're being a homo about saying... Stop being such a faggot about saying the word homo.
Good. We offended somebody. Let's listen to Claude Julien.
I don't think we have gay people listening to our show either.
Hey, you got a gay hockey player in the Devils, correct?
Who?
Who was the guy that hired a hitman to kill his boyfriend? What was his name?
What?
Yeah, he played for the Devils. He changed his name in the middle. Homo is a cat. Wait. What, say it out loud. Homo is Latin for human. So that's Dandy just told me homo is Latin for human, so we can get away with saying it.
Oh.
It's also
that's our defense?
Yeah. Brilliant defense, by the way. It's also a gay slur. Slur. Yeah. No, it's a term of endearment to some guys. Hey, homo, get over here.
Yeah.
Let's listen to Claude Julien. And this is how unprofessional I am. You have to shut up, Jake, and not talk through it. Otherwise, it's all...
Actually, I think what you're thinking, Cam Jansen of the Devils threatened that if he had a gay player on his team,
Did he?
He would kick his... He said, New Jersey Devils Cam Jansen is apologizing for joking during an internet radio show that if he discovered a player was gay, he'd kick his ass.
You had to apologize for that, right?
Yeah, that might be what you're referring to.
No, it's not. There was a player on the Devils, and we'll get it up next week. I don't have time to search for it now, but there was a player on the Devils, and he changed his name halfway through, and then the cops, I guess he left the Devils or was traded, and I know Devil fans, and he was arrested for trying to murder for hire. It was sometime in the late 90s.
Huh.
Yeah.
Wow.
Not. We're not talking about a guy who won a cup with these guys. It's a long time ago. But I remember he changed his name mid-season.
I'm surprised you being a Rangers fan. It was Marty.
Yeah. I'm not as big as asshole Ranger fan as most people think. Let's listen to Claude Julien. I guess he's the coach for the damn Boston Bruins, and he's going to cry. Don't talk during this until I stop it, all right?
Okay.
All right, you're a good guy. Let's see.
The frustrating part is that you end up 17 minutes in the penalty box when you should have been on the power play. Hey, it's as simple as that. And it's frustrating because, tonight, as everybody saw, there's a lot of embellishment. And this is embarrassing for our game.
It's also embarrassing for the French. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I wish he would just say that. They're a bunch of French homos. What else do you have to say?
Embellishing. And right now they've got over 100 power plays so far, and it's pretty obvious why. And we're trying to clean that out of our game, and it's got to be done.
When are we cleaning this out of our game?
I haven't heard anything about it.
Yeah, not me. I've heard a lot about visors and fighting and hits and shit, but where's the big effort to clean out embellishment? The Vancouver Canucks wouldn't even make the playoffs if it wasn't for embellishment. I mean, what is this guy talking about?
It's probably just that new, let's face it, it has been going on, the Sidney Crosbys, and
sure.
There's a lot of diving going on, Just
I don't have a problem with the dive if it's like in the middle of the play. I have a problem when people fake injuries. Trying to pick up a player, I get that. But it's
for European soccer player.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Hey, look, you're gonna get calls. You might want if your star's gonna try to pull a call. Hey, look, you got to do anything to win. I get that. What I don't get is the rolling around the ground like a homo.
Well, I kind of last night. This is intramural men's roller hockey. I a little bit embellished goalie interference. A guy skated past me, and I acted like I lost. And he bumped into me, and I lost my balance a little bit. So,
Goalies are really bad at embellishing, to be honest with you. I mean, their legs go straight up in the air. It's horrible.
I got a high sticking penalty last night too. But
Did you really?
Yeah, it was on accident.
Oh.
But it happens.
Yeah, sure.
Soon, because it's not about tonight. It's about the game, and the embellishment embarrasses our game, and we need to be better at that than it was.
This guy sounds like he just lost a hockey game.
Yeah, it's sore loser, are we?
I gotta be. It is wild because Montreal has this proud French tradition, and let me tell you something. Some of those old 70s, 50s, 60s Montreal, they're some of the toughest dudes going. I think they'd be rolling in their graves if they saw what the Montreal Canadiens have become. What else?
Pretty obvious, when PK gets hit and he throws himself into the glass and holds his head. And you know what? If we start calling those penalties for embellishment, maybe teams will stop doing it. But until we...
Then he'll pull the race card.
You leave PK Subban alone.
Yeah, he'll just pull the race card, bitches.
Uh-huh. There's this funny, speaking of black hockey players, there's this one funny picture.
What's with you, black hockey players? I can't get off facial issues with you.
I don't know, they're just so fascinating. They're so exotic.
Go ahead.
And it said caption this, and had a picture of Wayne Simmons, scoring a goal against Pittsburgh, or he was screening, but he was actually, jumping up in the air, and this dude had, mad ups for a guy on skates. It was just fascinating.
I like PK Subban.
He looks like Eddie Winslow. I like him too.
Yeah. I gotta put that how do you like me now PK Subban video on. Would this link be link number 5?
Number 4?
I don't know.
Yeah.
The links will all be in order. Just check it. Okay. That's legit.
Or look it up. Come on. We can't do everything for you.
Yeah, come on. For Christ's sakes. I'm no longer doing this. It's going to be a lot easier to edit, too. Let me tell you, that was a... Anything else in hockey you got?
No.
I mean...
It was actually a slow week.
It was, except for all the bullshit and the guy getting his neck broke in Switzerland, and then, what's-his-face taking one of the eye, Stahl, and somebody actually got knocked out in a hockey fight. Who knew?
But you know what? All those things tied in together, in a sense. And also just with, thank God for the Chicago Blackhawks losing,
That's really not much. Let's check.
Thank God.
I want to take a quick. Your team hasn't been doing that well lately. I've noticed.
No, we had a good bounce back game last week against the what do they call them? Against the Buffalo Sabres. We're down 2-0. I think with 3 minutes left. Scored a goal, then we scored to tie it, and their backup goalie actually got hurt, and because he was starting for Ryan Miller. Ryan Miller came in and won it in the shootout. Say what you want. We got 2 points. Like it or hate the shootout.
I'm not. I got mixed feelings with the shootout.
I like
how
it.
many? I'm a little more interested. How long was that losing streak? What, 5 games? 4?
6 games.
And now you have the number 7 spot, and the Rangers are 1 point behind, as I can see.
Yeah.
Yeah, Mike.
Uh-huh.
But you know what? That almost assures we won't see each other till late in the playoffs, anyway.
Right now, anything could happen. I mean,
yeah,
everybody's still in it.
Winnipeg Islanders are also 1 point out behind us, and we have the 8 speed.
Wouldn't that suck if you had to play the Winnipeg and you had to do all that traveling back and forth in the first round?
God, I can't imagine just being anywhere near Winnipeg. I can't believe it's a city. I'm not totally convinced it's a city.
I know it's in Western Canada, but here's how ignorant of an American I am. If you had a map...
Is it in Western Canada? Winnipeg's in...
I think.
I think you're wrong.
Honestly, this is how ignorant of an American I am. If you told... And I'm actually somewhat decent at geography. If you told me, gun to my head, point out where Winnipeg is, or the general area of where Winnipeg is... I couldn't do it if my life depended on it. Same with a lot of Europe,
Yeah, Yeah. Why don't you come to Europe one of these?
Anyway.
All right. I'm gonna find Winnipeg. It is in Canada.
There we go.
I always thought it was in northeastern Canada, by the North Pole, where Santa Claus lived. It's central. It's central Canada.
I thought it was like a western central Canada.
It's central, and it's really far north, and it's really freaking cold. And I think they have some kind of special, I don't know, kind of oxygen tanks, like they had that movie Total Recall, where people can actually kind of live there. Otherwise, it's not inhabitable.
I heard it was like really, really cold.
Ridiculously cold up there. It's ridiculously cold. Great wrestler, Chris Jericho from Winnipeg. Who cares? Anything more about hockey? Anything interesting happened to you?
To me, as far as hockey?
Oh, I mean, did you have a vasectomy? I don't fucking know. I don't know. The alcohol's kicking in.
Yeah, you asking me about vasectomies? Yeah, it is.
No.
You're making them a little strong over there, Andy.
He says you're making them too strong. It's going through my stuff. Killa Joka, who sent me some bitchin' hip hop 2 weeks ago, gave us a like on the last podcast we did, number 6. It's good to see.
You know what we should do? We should start a big fight between him and Rich Mahogany.
No.
Okay.
I don't know who Mahogany knows.
I don't know. He's on Facebook, Twitter, all that stuff.
Gotta be. It doesn't matter how badass you are nowadays. It doesn't matter how gangster you are. You better get on. No one's gonna listen to your shit unless you're on there.
No.
I'm surprised anybody listens to us. I'm happy with the 20 consistent people we listen to us, which is nice.
You make it sound like so much more.
It was so much, there was so much bullshit this week, and now I got the option to actually play clips during the show, and it's just there's nothing
worth playing this week.
Nothing playing. We pretty much cover the whole fucking thing.
No, there's nothing crazy going on in the league.
No.
Everybody's at where they should be at.
Everybody's over the Harlem Shake.
Yeah,
I could make a rant if I wanted to. I mean, there's just
there's nothing. It's just a week. We should start making up stories. That's how bad it is. Like as far as news, there's nothing been. And all the news this week just all tied in together.
Yeah. Let's just listen to Rich Mahogany.
I'm just being me, a real MC, representative of GMD, boom bap, cool cat, spitting rude tracks, who's that, do that, never getting booed at.
This kid's got some talent.
Oh, he's phenomenal.
He really is. I saw a video with him and some other I think it's, I don't think they named the song, but some of the other guys he was with. I dug it.
There's a video of, that he did. It's he's pretty much at the Keensburg Boardwalk. I have that somewhere. I have that video. I'll have to send that.
I think that might have been the one I saw.
Yeah.
I think what I saw. Because there was a video game floating in the water behind him.
You leave those poor people from Keensburg alone.
How long has it been going? It's almost 2 hours. Let's do the plugs.
Let's get out of here.
Let's put this shit to bed. Hey, get on soon too anyway. I want a 2-hour show. But we did have a break too, so.
Yeah.
I want to keep it down to an hour and a half. Mr. Jake Leake, do you have any plugs?
Yes, I have a show next Friday it's an open mic. It's at a TGI Fridays on Friday at 10 o'clock in Freehold.
That's great. How often does comedy go on in like a TGI Fridays type of?
I've never ever heard of anything like it. My one friend, Gino Tallarico, really funny comic, is really good booker, Bust a Gut Comedy. Just check him out, Google it. He's putting this show together. He does like a lot of.
I gotta interrupt you. I'm sorry. Don't tell people to Google it, you unprofessional fucker. Just send me the link.
I'll send the link.
Check the link below. That's all you gotta do.
Yeah. Check the link below. I'm sorry. But yeah, it's gonna be at a open mic at a TGI Fridays at 10 o'clock on Friday night. And trust me, I've been hearing a lot of people making fun of me that I'm performing at a Fridays. Your friend Mike Colasarich actually commented on it and said, "Soon you'll be selling out the garden, the Olive Garden."
Did he really say that?
Yeah.
Mike came up with that himself?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Big shout out to Mike. You know what that means?
What?
Next week we're playing Thousand Suns, and my favorite Thousand Suns song, his old band. Unless you come up with something better out now. Like,
No.
yeah.
Check. So I'm gonna be doing the Fridays, and I'm just thinking like I can't. It's definitely gonna be something different. Like I performed at some odd places, like just being on this level. It's you take what you could get. You're not picky.
No.
Like I performed at a bagel shop in the heart of Highland Park.
Oh my God, are you kidding me? The one on Main Street?
Yeah, it was across from the Dunkin' Donuts.
Oh wow. Hey, you know what? If you work real hard, you might get into Jerusalem Pizza across the street. Yes, the place called Jerusalem Pizza in Highland Park,
Yeah.
New Jersey. Still there?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. The clientele's right.
Let me tell you something. I went in there with Edgar Diaz one night, and we're just like, let's go. I'd never been in this place before. It's always kind of fascinated me. I'll go in there, right? So, look, we're not bigots or anything or what have you. So we walked in there, and we were a little buzzing from New Brunswick, which is right across the border. For people don't know, Google it. MapQuest, maybe. So we go in there, and there's this Hasidic Jew on the side with the whole outfit, what have you, this guy. And I tell you something. We walked in that place, and it was like we kicked the doors open to those sliding doors in a Western. We got hard looks. So everybody's staring at us in the whole place. The guy who's selling pizza, the guy who's and there's a whole bunch of other shit in there that I didn't recognize. The guy with the outfit on staring at us hard. The two people that are eating, who were traditionally Jewish. Pardon my ignorance. I really didn't know. And it was a real creep out. So Edgar was like right away. He's like really uncomfortable, and I was just like trying to be like played off like I'm cool. And look, we're here to get pizza. I mean, shit, we're paying customers. What the fuck do they care, But I guess there's so many people going in there fucking around because it's called Jerusalem Pizza, that it was a problem for some reason. So I ordered, and the guy just stood at me with his arms crossed. Dead serious.
Pepperoni pizza.
At Jerusalem Pizza. No,
Did you order pepperoni?
I didn't order anything because no matter what I said.
Ham and pineapple.
Hawaiian, baby. And these guys, they just stared at us. And it was like, do you have pepperoni? Do you have this? Is there anything like traditional that is put in and the guys just, I mean.
Lox and pizza.
There's no response, nothing. They just stared at us. So finally, I said, I said, fuck it. If you don't want our money, we'll walk. And they didn't have a problem with that.
They're very, very community orientated. I used to work in Lakewood.
I live in Highland Park. I lived in Highland Park for a year, and I never went into that. I don't know what happened then. I was older then. I guess I was 14 when I lived, or 14 when I lived there, and I've never seen anything like that. It was weird. Not a big shout out to Jerusalem Pizza in.
Yeah, don't go there.
Yeah, don't go there. I don't know. You know what I think it was? I think so many people go in and fuck with them that we look like the guys that did it last week. God, we just wanted pizza, or whatever the hell they sell at Jerusalem Pizza.
Yeah, well, bagels and lox.
Bagels and lox.
When I used to work in Lakewood, we used to deal with a heating and cooling supply house that was Jewish guys, and they're talking about their food and like, oh yeah, you should go to this place or that place and you should try them out. I'm like, dude, if I walked in there, no offense, they would probably just look at me like I had two heads, and they wouldn't, And I'm sure because, like, when I would go to these people's houses and give them their stuff, that's how they would look at me sometimes.
Yeah, that's what happened to me. I don't know if it's connected. Maybe it's bad luck. Maybe it's the kids in New Brunswick coming over and messing with them. I know they'd walk across the bridge and fuck up some once in a while when I lived in Highland Park. But yeah, it was a really weird experience, by any means. And I am not calling Hasidic Jews bigots or what have you. I'm not.
No.
I don't know. I had a bad experience with these people, not Hasidic Jews.
I think it's just I'm sure they have tons and tons of just people just fucking around with them.
Yeah, probably.
And
yeah, that's probably what it was.
And but the best Jewish story I have, I did a delivery to a woman. I delivered a hot water heater for one of our customers to her house, and she was like, "Can you please bring it in to the house?" I'm like, "All right, I'm not supposed to, but I'll do it anyway," because it's a woman with like 3 kids and 3 small kids. So I brought it into the house, and I was putting everything back into my truck. This lady comes running out with this bag full of stuff. She goes, "Here you go. I don't have any cash on me, but I just wanted to show you my appreciation." And she gives me a can of tuna fish and 2 cans of peaches.
Well, did you appreciate it? You fucking.
I said thank you. Of course I said thank you to her, but it was odd. It was an odd tip. Of course I appreciated it, but I couldn't make it up. I'm driving. I call up my wife. I'm like, you'll never believe the tip I just got.
Is there a recipe for chicken? Hey, Andy, with tuna fish and peaches? Nothing. Huh? There's nothing going on there. Are you trying to say that they're cheap? Was that the move? Actually, most of the Jews I grew up with overtip because they're so sick of that stupid Jewish stereotypes. I only have to leave $7. I'll leave 14 because I don't want people running around saying Jews are cheap. Most people don't live up the stereotype, but I am.
Oh yeah,
I'm getting drunk as we speak, and I'm Irish American. All right, you know what? That was our story for the week. That's kind of what I was looking for. So let's start the plugs right now.
All right, yeah. I got the TGI Fridays in Freehold at 10 o'clock. Any more details? Just message me on Facebook or message me on Twitter, and I'll be happy to split an appetizer with you. And from every Friday from that week on, I will be playing goalie for the Honey Badgers at Imanav Sports Play.
We have sport court over there at Imanav? Or they playing? Oh, yep. Good. Sport court.
It's an indoor sports court.
That's good stuff.
I will be the netminder for the Honey Badgers because their goalie got hurt.
Hey, that's the way it goes sometimes. Hey, you take what you can get.
That's right.
Whether it's at or with a mic.
Mm-hmm.
I'll take you to it. JohnFreemanMusic.com, JohnFreemanMusic.com, JohnFreemanMusic.com. Please check out what John Freeman writes music for a living, and he's more than happy to write it for you. Please check out JohnFreemanMusic.com. Very talented musician. My name's Tommy C, and you can check me out on Twitter at JerseyGhost, JerseyGhosts. If you probably didn't notice because nobody downloads, I stopped uploading MP3s to Podomatic. I don't know if I'm going to start doing it again. I think I'm just going to stick with YouTube until and when this takes off, and then I'll worry about getting on iTunes on another date, maybe next year. Eventually, I do want to have an iTunes thing, but it's just not in the financial cards. And probably say, yo, are you that broke? And it would be correct. I'm that broke. But one of these days, we're going to get on iTunes and get the RS feed and what have you. But Podomatic is limited till further notice. You're going to have to check us out on YouTube until then. And there are plenty of applications out there where you can download YouTube videos and or just the MP3. So I would maybe I'll put a link to something like that. You can download all the MP3s. You can what it'll do is it'll turn a YouTube video into MP3 and you can pop that in everything and check out a shop point. My last one, A View from the Couch. View from the Couch is a weekly sports show by Mr. Dead on Dave Computer. go. I'm getting tired. Alcohol's kicking in. Dead on Dave Van Cura, not Dead on Dave Computer. Dead on Dave Van Cura runs a show called View from the Couch. They specialize in the week in sports. I'm actually
gonna be doing a week before baseball update for the Mets.
You should go in.
That's what I'm going to. I'm gonna send them just a beginning of the season preview of the New York Metropolitans.
That's great.
So
Stuff.
yeah,
I'm
so
gonna be Yankee Met fans actually. First off, sorry. I don't.
So it's gonna be so all two shows working together. So.
Sure.
Now I gotta get a show.
I highly recommend. Yeah, why not? I highly recommend Days of View from the Couch. They did a really good show last week. Please check it out. You can also check it out on Tommy C's podcast and other crap. You'll see a link for that below. It's on Facebook. It's our Facebook site. We only have about 30 likes, so maybe you'll like that shit. Who like it, maybe? Who else? What am I missing? No more Podomatic. Check the fucking links. Do I have anything written down? You have nothing else?
No.
Follow
me on
one more plug. Please check out Soul Crushing Radio. Soul Crushing Radio. They are a pop culture podcast. Yeah, we say they just have dick jokes, but that's not the case. Really, really funny guys. Have a really professional setup. And I do enjoy listening to them. Please check out Soul Crushing Radio. We and Dave are going to be doing some kind of benefit support for veterans. They're doing some kind of a podcast marathon, and we're getting the details in now, and we're going to be supporting them. As far as I know, I think I'll be representing Shot from the Point. Dave will be representing View from the Couch. So please check it out. Check the link below. Anything else?
No, just friend me on Facebook.
Yeah.
This is hilarious.
Yeah.
I probably won't get any friend requests now.
Well,
become my friend. Play me in Candy Crush. If you guys ever play that.
I have to do anybody sends me a request, I send them my show.
Oh, okay.
Because I separated because I didn't want to be like pelting my regular Facebook friends my crap, because I would say 90% don't care, don't listen, and don't want to see it. So what I did is I made a separate site on Facebook, so people that might be interested in seeing it.
Huh.
That was the idea. So.
All right, good. I could send you, because I know you're not going to just send me the link.
Probably not. All right, everybody. Thank you very much for tuning in to this week's episode of Shop the Point. Next, we'll be coming with more NHL news as we draw closer to the playoffs. Big shout out to Rich Mahogany. Yes, the vodka is kicking in. It's gotta be. I want to listen to that a little more, because I want to see if this still works.
Ripping every show, hit blueberry dro. Sip penny to the roof, spinning very slow. Who's the one who spits it properly, kid? It gotta be
Rich Mahogany. Thank you very much, Rich Mahogany, for your.
Check them out.
Yeah, check them out. Really, give these guys work real hard. So check them out. I know I was in a band 12 years ago. It's a lot of fun, but it's also a lot of work, and nothing feels better than when somebody says, "Hey, y'all, digging that shit." Thank you very much for tuning in Shot from the Point. Thank you, Jake, as always. Always appreciate you.
No problem.
Thanks, man. Hopefully see you next week. Peace and see ya.